Ha-Notein Sheleg Ha-Ka-Tzamer Kefor Ka-Efer Yefaser Ha-Notein Sheleg Ka-Tzamer Kefor Ka-Efer Yefaser Ha-Notein Sheleg Ka-Tzamer Kefor Ka-Efer Yefaser Ha-Notein Sheleg Ka-Tzamer Kefor Ka-Efer Yefaser.
Welcome everyone to our Shalvah program this week. And this week, when we here in Philadelphia and in all the Northeast are looking at a layer of snow covering the earth, the likes of which we haven't seen in some time, I was really thinking about this verse from Psalm 147 that talks about God laying down snow on the earth like fleece that we might use to make a sweater or something very soft that covers the earth like a blanket, and that God scatters frost as if it were ashes coming down on the earth. So what does it mean to have this image of God spreading the snow on the earth, laying it down, not it just falling from the sky as a natural phenomenon, but God putting it onto the earth with intention? And a hint about what that image is about for the psalmist comes in the previous verse, which I've put here, where it says, God sends forth the divine word to the earth, God's command runs swiftly. So in this psalm, the psalmist seems to be drawing an analogy between Torah, God's words to humanity, and the snow coming down on the earth. That just like the snow comes down and blankets the earth, that's actually what Torah was about. Sometimes we think about Torah as something that that was a gift, like wrapped up, a gift that was then given to the Jewish people. But this is a different image that comes into the rabbis thinking about Torah as well, that Torah issued forth and spread over the earth. God did actually spread Torah over the earth for the benefit of all people. And there it is. It's there for us to react to. And just like snow, Torah provokes different reactions, right? For some, especially maybe if we're small or if we happen to be, I don't know, a puppy, snow provokes delight, right? The beauty, the fun of tramping in the snow. It's a delightful thing. As too with Torah, there's a delight in learning. There's a delight in getting guidance about how we should live our lives. On the other hand, snow also has a difficult side. It's inconvenient. It gets in our way. It changes our plans. And that's another reaction to Torah as well. There is something inconvenient about having guidelines for our lives, because it is saying to us, as God says to the people at Mount Sinai, doing what you want and what you feel like doing, that's not the purpose of existence. The purpose of existence is actually adjusting to this idea that there is a will other than your own, and that will is communicating somehow to you and trying to bend you to the divine will through the divine word. And then there's also, I think, with snow, this ability to step back and enjoy it, to see, to the view of it is calming. The idea that there is some, it slows the world down. And that's what we certainly saw in the storm, and changes it and makes us see it differently. And that is also the intention of Torah, as that Torah is meant to get us to see the world differently, to step out of our ordinary lives for moments, hours at a time, and to immerse ourselves in something more long-lasting, something that doesn't run on the same schedule as the rest of our lives. And the snow does that too, right? It makes us change the schedule of our lives, and also to realize that we are living alongside forces that are larger than us. As much as we might want things to be different, in when the snow comes, we have to adapt to what is. So I'm hoping that for us, this metaphor of comparing Torah to snow can give us a little bit of comfort, comfort in this time, that there's something that's beautiful, something that's delightful, something that's sometimes inconvenient about, and something that changes us about both snow and Torah. And that living in this, underneath this blanket of snow that God has laid down on this earth, can make us feel cared for in the same way that Torah being given to the Jewish people is meant to make us feel cared for. There are greater forces than us afoot, and while those can be difficult and sometimes scary to us, they also can provide us with comfort. We're not here alone, and we can appreciate the forces that surround us.
So one of the wonderful tools in meditation is, or in the practice, is breath work. So I thought today, I've been working with different breathing exercises in the last few days, and they've been very helpful to me when I've had moments of anxiety. And so using that same metaphor of the blanket and the slowing down, I think a particularly helpful breathing exercise is doing an inhale and then a longer exhale. So I think before we go into meditation, we'll start with just a few short minutes of doing this. So we'll breathe in for 4 and out for, I'll count to 6, but if 5 is good for you, that's fine. It shouldn't be difficult. So do what's best for you. I'll do it out loud a couple of times, and then we'll just do it on our own, and then we'll shift into meditation. So breathing in, 1, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And in, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And now, with your eyes closed, if you're comfortable, or gazing softly a few feet in front of you on the floor, if you prefer them open, sitting in a relaxed and upright position, letting your breath return to normal, following your breath, casting a net of awareness over your body, scanning easily and efficiently from the top of your head through your face, shoulders, torso, waist, legs, knees, ankles, feet. So, really feeling present, sitting in your body, feeling your body breathing. And we'll focus on our breath for this meditation, but as Rabbi Zeff was talking about in his teaching, thoughts are going to arise, and some of them might be delightful, and some of them might be challenging. But whatever the thought is, you can just recognize that you're thinking and note the thought as thinking or as worry or planning or memory, and then let it go. And as soon as you're able to bring your awareness back to your breath, you'll come back to your breath. So just following your inhalation and your exhalation, not trying to change your breathing. Noticing where you feel it most, in your belly or in your chest, in your nostrils. Keeping your attention focused on the entire cycle of breath, from the beginning of the inhalation to the end of it, to where it changes to the exhalation, and back. And if your attention wanders, just noting the thought, letting it go, bringing attention back to your breath or your body. Resting in awareness, resting in this moment. Inhaling, exhaling without effort, just noticing what your body is doing naturally. Before we close the meditation, let's do a couple more of those exercises where we breathe in. You can breathe in for 5 or 6 if you want, 4. Just breathe out for longer than your in breath. So at your own pace. And before we open our eyes, just pausing for a moment of gratitude for the ability to breathe. Thanking our bodies for working so hard for us. When you're ready, opening your eyes. You can take a stretch. And if you enjoyed that breathing exercise, I highly recommend doing a little Googling to see what other breathing exercises are out there, because they are really so helpful and so easy and always available if you just can remember 1 or 2 or 3. Ha-Notein Sheleg Ka-Tzamer Kefor Ka-Efer Yefaser 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 Ha-Notein Sheleg Ka-Tzamer Kefor Ka-Efer Yefaser.
I hope when we go out in the world today and in the coming days and we see the snow spread on the world, we can see in that the divine care for the world, and that it'll be a source of comfort and even of delight for us as we go along our ways. Have a really good week.